Gentlemen's Club Challenge presented by Innova. I'm your host, Jamie Thomas, and with me for the first time, finally, we got the man himself, Paul Ulibarri, on the track. How's it going today?
It's going good, man. Excited to watch some good disc golf from four of the best players in the world.
Four of the best players, and slight spoiler alert, you might be playing with some of these guys come round two, shredding up round one at the DiscGolfValues course. What do you think about this complex, and what do you think about this course overall?
The complex is great. I mean, awesome to bring three courses to this venue, and the clubhouse being right there, and I mean, easy access for all divisions. So they did a good job with that. The courses are good, and I plan on them making them better in the future. Yeah. And
the star-studded lead card that you alluded to was by fan vote, the feature card. Ricky Wysocki, Eagle McMahon, Simon Lizotte, and your past champion, 2016 champion, Philo Brathwaite.
First on the box. Recently
We're going to
winning
get
the
right
Columbus
into
Day
hole
Open
one
in the
here.
Czech Republic. Simon Lizotte.
Simon's returning from a long absence, rehabbing that knee injury. See what he's got in the tank.
Yeah, everybody's excited to see him back on the course. Definitely one of the funnest people to watch. That's why he got voted in, I think, with the most votes on Facebook. And that's how you really need to play the hole. He left it right over the cart path, which is OB, and then just let it drift right into the...
And that's no better way to start your return is park the hole.
Right. Eight months and then a birdie. I'm sure he's happy with that.
And Eagle McMahon's teeing off second. In Simon's absence, Eagle has really risen to the top of the ranks and kind of maybe surprised some of the other competitors in the division.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got great style. Reminds me actually a lot of Simon with his abilities.
There's a guy you know real well, Ricky Wysocki, giving a little ace run there.
Yeah, he's really been working on his short game from about 250 in this offseason, so no surprise to see him put that one really close.
And finally, the always entertaining Philo Brathwaite's going to round out the feature card.
Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good coming off of his victory from last year. Let's see how he does on the first hole. Pretty textbook right there. Hit the banner, stayed in bounds. He'll have a putt.
And you know, if Ricky's the furthest out and he's still inside the circle, you're staring down the barrel of a star frame to start this tournament.
Yeah, none of these putts are real easy, though. These are 30-footers, and, you know, the nerves are pumping for all of them. So, first three in.
Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but so far, 4 for 4.
4 for 4. That's what you want to see.
Nerves aren't too bad. And
yeah, they made that hole look really easy. It's actually not that big of a green, but they all pretty good with the short game.
And then you managed to find.
I'm like, wow, these guys all did birdie.
I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law.
I did hit the banner and back out. It's off the top.
No matter what you say,
Maybe
I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say.
No, banners out, roll out. It's like roll barely out of the 50 feet. Uphill over curb.
Back again on hole 2. Super excited to bring Adidas Terex over to see some disc golf and to dip their toe into the water, getting involved in the sport. It's a great time to be playing disc golf. And hole 2's kind of tough here.
Yeah, hole 2's tough. They have this humongous bush over to the right that caused a humongous backup for our division. Simon makes it look pretty easy, though, just going right over that bush. Ooh, catches a little roll, though.
The unfortunate roll. And let's check out the knee action. Seems pretty confident rotating on that knee with that power hyzer there.
Yeah, he was mentioning in an interview that I saw that he did a lot of rehab with it, and he's feeling pretty confident.
No surprise here. Eagle also playing the big power hyzer. Is there any real other way to attack this pin?
Well, if you have that sort of power, that would be the play. I kind of went right at it, actually, with like a left to right shot instead of the big sky hyzer, because I don't have the power that these three do. I'm thinking that maybe Philo's going to try the same route I did. That looked pretty good.
He should have a little guarded look from there.
Yeah, just like I thought, he's playing the flex route into the middle, trying to stay away from that bush, and that's really the...
And he got caught up on that tree there with a tough little lie.
Looks like he made do, though.
And so Eagle rolled out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like he had an obstructed lie also, so he really couldn't get that high enough to go in.
Simon kind of misses as well. These guys struggling a little bit on this hole until Ricky picks it up.
Yeah, no surprise there, Ricky with a center putt again.
Oh, you're saying he's good at putting?
He's not too bad.
Simon cleans up the par. Eagle saves the bogey.
Yeah, that was a good putt by Eagle, not letting the hole get too out of control. I mean, that was a 25-foot tester for sure.
Here's some scores from some of the top players in the division after 2. Moving on to 3. The first real opportunity to kind of air it out, put some juice on the drive.
Yeah, this is a really long... Well, I thought it was a par 3. Scratch that. This is a fairly short par 4, 646 feet. The real danger is left. It looks like you can throw pretty much anything right and far, and I'm sure a couple of these guys are going to attack this pin.
One of those tweener holes that 4 doesn't feel quite as good, even though it is only a par, not a bogey.
Right, just like I suspected, Ricky playing extra safe, going way wide. It's really one of the must-get par 4s being so short.
And then Simon here can't make the mistake left like you were talking about. These fairways are skippy. Probably not quite as skippy as last year through round 1. I don't know if you're thinking the same, but can't miss left.
No. Looks like Philo did a traditional play and put it right in the fairway there. That was a good play. Let's see if Eagle goes for the Eagle.
He put a move on that one.
Yeah, looks like he wanted a little too much and turned it over, but there is nothing wrong with that when you're pretty much pin high on a par 4.
I wish I had that power. Here's Simon from the drop zone.
Not bad. From the drop zone, that's actually a lot further than it looks. And with that cross one in the OB right to the left of the basket, it can be a sketchy upshot.
And here's Ricky.
Yeah, he's just doing the smart play there and laying it up for his easy birdie. Expect the same from Eagle.
Yeah, no reason to really go for the Eagle here. It's cliche, but there's lots of golf left.
Right, and they were a good 80 to 100 feet with OB right behind the basket.
Ooh.
Tough break for him there. He had a tough straddle putt and inch low. Game of inches, right?
Yes. No pictures on the scorecard either way. No almosts. And Philo taking his time for the tap in. Hole 3, Ricky's perfect. 3 birdies through 3 holes. Everybody's under par on our leaderboard. And now we're on to hole 4. Reachable. Downhill, 414 feet. What's the play here?
Yeah, there's a couple different plays here. The tree right there that the drone just went over, there's an OB line that goes right, and so you have to be past that tree. Traditionally, if you have the sidearm, you're going to do it like Ricky just did. There's a flex shot option for a right-handed player and a long ante. But Eagle and Ricky definitely have the power with the sidearm to get there, as you can see.
And Eagle's just got an uphill look for birdie here. Philo, who's not as known for throwing that sidearm, opts for the flex line.
Yeah, he just didn't get it over. You really have to commit to that shot, and when you commit, you bring that OB into play. So I'm not surprised there. I saw a lot of that yesterday.
Trying to think about the last time I saw Philo throw a forehand. Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, he'd have to be in some big trouble, I think, in order to pull out the sidearm. I haven't seen it much either.
And Simon trickles just over the cart path. He was worried it was out of bounds, but as you mentioned, safe. Here's a makeable look for Ricky.
Yeah, good run. I mean, he's not going to expect to make that one, but he gave it a good bid.
Oh, Simon, 2 in a row.
Eagle makes good on the birdie, though, with a solid center putt.
And that's a great stroke to gain on the card after taking the bogey on the second hole. And Rick out to the hot start. Good move there by Eagle.
Yep, and these guys are just tapping in their pars.
Nothing super hot. Posse, I should say, actually. 3 down through 4, matching Ricky's pace there. Posse teed off earlier, obviously. This is the feature card, the last card of the day.
Yeah, Posse being the Finnish sensation. Coming out hot at the first National Tour of the year. I'm sure he's stoked to be on the lead card.
And this is pretty straightforward here. Throw the forehand or the flex. Get around that tree.
Yeah, the basket's on that mound, making any real putts outside of 20 feet difficult. And then to top it off, OB 20 feet to the right of the basket. So you really want to put this one close.
And after Eagle's parked forehand, that was a beautiful backhand line by Ricky.
Looks like Philo might have got it over a little too much. Yeah, and that's a mistake that you make when you turn it over too much on that hole. OB over the cart path.
2 holes in a row there that the forehand definitely would have made this whole play a lot easier.
Oh, and tough break for Simon, just not getting it over. Probably after seeing Philo go out of bounds right, he didn't want to match him and leaked it into the bunker.
And Philo just missing the par save. Simon was able to throw from the bunker. We are playing bunker rules. So kind of like the hazard at the USDGC. You throw from where it lies with the penalty. Rick and Eagle getting another stroke on the card, or 2 in the case of Philo here.
Yeah, and Eagle going back-to-back, like you said, after that bogey. I'm sure he's feeling extra good about that.
You think we have the makings of a rivalry here after that 16 and 17 down round? down under. I mean, that was an absolute duel, and I think we'd all be so lucky to see another big battle like that, no matter who it is.
Absolutely. Eagle is coming on very strong, very fast, and he's been very close to the last 2 majors that we've had, and I'm sure he's ready for it to be a rival for sure.
So the Triple Island hole. This is a unique feature of the GCC. I mean, you see a lot of layups here by these guys. What was your play here? Are you attacking it or are you laying it up?
No, I went island, and played it for the par. It's actually a 315-foot par 4. And you don't get to say that very often, but a lot of people don't like it, and I kind of like it. You get rewarded for aggressive play, and you have the option to lay up and take your par. And Philo, as you could see, went for the second island and missed, and Ricky gets it to stop on that second island.
And the thing is just to throw straight and have it land soft and straight. One of the more underappreciated, very technical shots, even if you are only throwing a putter.
Oh, absolutely. You see the featured card here kind of struggling to put it on those islands, and that should be a shot that you have dialed no matter what.
Yeah, you can't get to this level without having that shot, but to pull it out in a pressure scenario repeatedly can be tough.
Eagle gives it a run and barely holds on there.
He was flirting with that out of bounds. Ricky, who managed to stay inbounds, plays it nicely. And Eagle was able to make that putt. Sorry for the technical difficulties there.
Ricky taps it in.
And another thing to mention out here, it looks beautiful on the screen from the camera lens, and it is beautiful, but it's cold. It is much colder than you're able to tell from the video, and just sometimes those little technical things with the putter. And hole 7. And this is a tricky line. You got to throw really low. You got to throw downhill onto these skippy fairways like we were talking about, but under 400, reachable.
Yeah, the designer did a really good job of limiting the space for your disc to fly on. And I think they're all going to do the aggressive low line skip like you mentioned. Just like that.
Look at the roll here. Now, for anybody else, that might put it in the tester range, but I think Rick is still pretty confident from that distance.
Simon actually got that pretty high, but it leaked a little right and caught a bush.
And you got to wonder if it's a little bit of wind. You can see it from the trees there. Not quite as windy as the days we were flying the drone and the practice days, but still some to contend with.
Yeah, and almost every single basket has OB right behind it or it's on a mountain, so none of these putts will be a formality.
So it's distance control, the name of the game on the DiscGolfValues course. Otherwise, you have a putt like this. It's a good little floaty run. Should net him a par. And here's Eagle with a tailwind. And he may have gotten lucky to hit the flag there.
Yeah, he did. He threw it real aggressive high, and the wind just didn't drop him even though it was showing tailwind. It's really swirly out on this course.
And Rick with another nice putt. Putting's been the difference so far. Nobody's really pured a lot of the holes quite yet. There's been a couple nice drives here and there, but so far, through 7 holes, the difference is the Wysocki putter.
Yeah, and he hasn't been making a lot of long putts. He's just putting them circles, eds, right in the circle and making good with the ones that you're supposed to make good on.
Very blue-collar round. Make the putts you got to make, and move on to hole 8. Another hyzer, distance control hyzer here. Anybody throwing the flex forehand?
I didn't see anybody throwing the flex forehand. I saw a couple lefties throw turnovers, but this is actually a really tricky hole. If you want to get this hole, you actually have to throw it around that pine that he went in front of. Otherwise, it's going to leave you that putt right there. And when you go behind that pine, it brings the OB into play. And Simon actually goes really high.
That looks high and inside.
But it actually worked out pretty good.
Sticks it. Getting the safe call. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, pulls it a little bit out of his hand, but it looks like Eagle, throwing as aggressive as he does, got through.
And he did a little course maintenance on the tree just to the right of the path, and he was still long in the basket.
Yeah, and just as I expected, nobody was taking on the route behind the pine tree there to actually give yourself a look.
And Eagle's little pitch out here. It's worth noting that only playing this course once, so there's no chance for redemption to try to go for that aggressive route.
I'm sure Rick's going to run this one.
Ooh.
Wow, it was a good putt, though. He just missed it a little low.
Game of inches, you say?
Oh, not again.
Simon, 3 putts and 8 holes. He's touching about every part of the chain that you can and just couldn't get it to stick.
It was a good solid putt by Eagle there, very aggressive. Rick is not happy about missing that one by an inch, but
I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for him. You know, on the hottest pace of the tournament here, he's bound to miss one once in a while.
I was thinking about that in my head, too.
I'll say it for you. It's all right. Meanwhile, through 8 holes, you're 2 under par. And we were chatting during the commercial, marveling at Posse being right on the pace with Ricky. The wind was real tough in the morning, and I heard some of the ladies playing FPO say the same thing. So to put down a round like that, impressive to say the least.
Absolutely. He had probably 10 to 12 mile an hour difference in the morning to when the last cards teed off.
Ricky flaring off the green, and I can't tell if he was attempting that or just got a little lucky that grass is sticky by the pin.
Yeah, the grass is pretty sticky by the pin, so you can actually be very aggressive and expect it to catch you.
Simon did just that.
Looks like Eagle pulled it a little bit. He's going to have to catch and he does. He catches a good break and skips out of that tall grass.
And this is where I would pull out something I've been saying for a while. This is a 4-digit separator hole here. This is a hole that you guys are going to make look really easy because you know how to play those changes in terrain. But for a guy like me, I'd be perfectly happy with a par.
Man, that seems to be the issue with a few of these guys, just missing barely. Not Rick, though.
Not Rick. Everybody else seeming to struggle. And Simon, happy about that one.
A good comeback by Philo there. He actually hit the fence and stayed safe there, I think.
Yeah, that's good little fortunate kick back towards the pin. Those few inches, keeping him in bounds. And we're halfway through the first round. Not a whole lot of hot scores, but some, like we're talking about, blue-collar work, getting it done. And we'll be back momentarily for the back nine. You joining me again?
Absolutely.
We'll see you there. Back nine, Gentlemen's Club Challenge presented by Innova on SpinTV.